Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am Lawana Parker, the Executive Director and host of Courage to Live Your Dream show. Our show is part of the Raven International Media Network. We are on Amazon Fire, Roku, iHeart, Spotify, Anchor, and iTunes. This show is about helping you. My mission is to support you on your destination to your dream. I know how lonely it can be when you undertake new challenges and the negative talk starts. My guests will be people who have gone on the same journey, who are taken and will offer advice, suggestions, tips to help support you and keep you motivated. I am so excited today because we have a real special guest. So let me introduce her. Angelique was born and bred with excellent etiquette in Switzerland and has been living in Queensland, Australia for several years. She has over 40 years of experience building a bridge between spirituality and psychology. She is well and truly on top of that bridge now. Angelique found counseling to the past to focus and life coaching to future focus. As it is indeed imperative to have a great mindset to keep raising your vibrations to attract more of that, it will never really work until you release what you have buried in the subconscious that is outdated and, in fact, holding you back. Remember, the mind is your best tool. It will do what it thinks you want. So please help me welcome, all the way from Australia, Angelique Pallarino. Hey! Angelique, I'm so
Hi.
excited to have you here. I know you're a busy lady, and so I'm really grateful that you took some time to spend with us this evening. To get things rolling, please explain to us what the heck does RTT stand for and what is it?
Okay. Well, first, it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me. And RTT is phenomenal. I'll tell you that right now. I'm in love with it. So it stands for Rapid Transformational Therapy. And I'm not the founder of it, but my teacher has been doing this for over 30 years with great success and has now handpicked a few people around the world to do so as well. So obviously a lot of deep connection with your source is important because intuition comes into play as well. So it is a new emerging and distinctive approach that embraces several modalities, including hypnosis. And I think that's the biggest secret. So in fact, so it's really fast, as most of the time, only one 90-minute session is life-changing. Our clients are usually time poor and in pain, so they love the fact that they can have just one session and be on top of their game. It's also truly empowering as well as healing for the body, and it leads to permanent and powerful positive change.
Well, I noticed something that you mentioned about it uh, helping that you can cause diseases. And I was wondering, how do we create our own illnesses, our diseases?
Yes, well, all illnesses are psychosomatics. There's many doctors and psychologists that are coming and are looking for different ways to bring that to the world. It's unconscious. It's unconscious. It's deeply buried in us. You know, just the fact that we believe for a long time, it's now been scientifically proven that it's not the case. But we think that because our parents had cancer, that we're going to get it. And it's not. You're going to invite it in if you believe that, because your mind is going to do exactly what it thinks you want. Yeah. So, yeah, it's crazy.
I'm laughing, but not at you. I was thinking about when I was a young girl in junior high school, and if I didn't want to go to school, I would start thinking about, I wish I was sick. And the next morning, I would be sick.
Wow, there we go. That is a perfect example. Yep, yep. I mean, That's it. It's on a very small scale. I remember one day after I lost my husband, you know, I was kind of a bit hard on myself and trying to get on top. And I was going to pump classes. And one day when I put my bar down, oh my God, my back was absolutely killing me. I couldn't move. So I managed to get home. My children say, oh, go to the doctor, mom, or to the physio, or to the chemist and get a painkiller. I'm going, nah, just I'm going to go to sleep for an hour and nurture myself. Unfortunately, when I woke up an hour later, it was still there. But I knew what I had to do. And I went and sat on my little chair where I meditate. And I just asked my divine source, whatever that is for you, what is it that you're trying to tell me? And when I sat, I, you know, made the necessary changes within me. I walked out of that chair, normal pain, never came back.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool, huh? Yeah. But, you know, it could be all sorts of things like anger that's unreleased can show up in many, many different ways. So I had a lady who was completely, her body was basically covered for years and years and years and years, you know. And actually there was two different ladies, but one lady, when they discovered what it was simply that this painter, or this, you know, part of when she built her house, he really ripped her off. And he was still under her skin, and she still had anger towards him, never released that anger, and it was showing up in these pimples. And it was amazing. And the second lady, her issue was that she was psychologically doing this to keep men away from her. Crazy, huh? Wow. So we usually discover this when we do a session, when the person is under hypnosis, because I bring them into scenes that will take us to the root cause of the problem. And then when we discover the root cause of the problem under hypnosis, it's phenomenal. It's healing. So initially, I'm like a detective, go work out what it is that's creating it. Then I become a dentist and I go extract the tooth, the bad, out of a person's body and psyche. And then we do some more, you know, depending on the person, we have to adapt. There's all sorts of different ways. Is that we actually give the person a recording that's tailor-made for them with the words that they gave us at the beginning of the session. We infiltrate that back in so that the mind can listen to it for the next 21 days, to rewire it, to change. And at the beginning of the recording, we put the person back under hypnosis, so they're doing it to themselves when they're listening to the recording, so that it works on a very deep level, and the conscious mind is out of the way. Does that make sense?
It does, and it sounds like, based on what you're saying, that even if you were traumatized, this would work.
Oh yes, absolutely. You know, I'll tell you a story. There was this man who had a major problem with anxiety. Whenever he would hear drums, so imagine going through life without being listening to music. So whenever he heard drums, he would get the biggest chest pain. He would feel like he was about to have a heart attack. It was so bad. So he then, of course, God, the universe, whoever you want to have as a guide, gave him a girlfriend who was a musician. And she wanted him to go listen to her, but he couldn't. So then he heard about RTT, Rapid Transformational Therapy, came and did a session under regression. Where was he? He was inside his mother's wound. She was 7 months pregnant. Mm-hmm. And she was hiding in the cupboard under blankets and pillows because some men were coming in the house with machete guns, killing everybody inside. They ended up fleeing from this country and never went back. And that was her heartbeat pounding so hard. Voila. That freed him to discover this. And he got to lead a normal life.
Wow. That's amazing.
Pretty cool.
So I'm just thinking about all of what you were saying, and thinking about some of the things that have happened in my life, and realizing that I've been doing some of what you're saying, not on a concentrated method as you're putting it for us here, but nevertheless, if you stop and think about it, it's something that we've been doing, but we just need someone to teach us how to do it in a focused way. And that's what you do.
Yeah. Not just focused love, but also getting your mind out of the way. So the way I explain this is, you know, humans, well, hang on. When I was about 16 years old at school in Switzerland, a teacher said that as humans, we only use about 15% of our brain. So instantly I'm thinking, whoa, what the hell are we doing? The answers are obviously in the 85%. So that's why my whole life's work has been to work on this. And yes, I've been attuned to Reiki. I've looked at all these different modalities and they work. And like what you're saying, like Louise Hay was a pioneer. Louise Hay, who wrote a book in 1984, You Can Heal Your Life. At the end of her book, she's got like a little chapter. And it's like a dictionary. You know, on the left, you have the problem. In the middle, you have the potential cause of it. And on the right, you have an affirmation that is going to counteract this. So that is good and well and good. And we've been doing it for years and years and years. But can I say something? It's very slow because we're doing it from a mental perspective above the water, like an iceberg, you know. 85% is in the water. It's unconscious. We can't see it. So when we do RTT, we get rid of the head, if that, so to speak, go deep inside the subconscious, find out what it is, that what kind of rules are you still doing in your mind? And it's only because we built all this set of rules for us to live on for the rest of our life when we're only little babies. And, you know, up to 7, look at this man. He was in the wound and he still already was making his decisions that he was going to be scared of this noise. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's been very unconstructive. So, and the beauty about RTT is if a person was raped, they will not go through the pain again at all. They will just be observing it and say, oh, I made all these decisions in those times, but that had nothing to do with me. I'm not a bad person. This is just something that happened for me to learn from, you know, to bounce off from, to as a stepping stone, and I can let go of that. So when you completely let go of that, it's like frees you. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
So if it's buried that deep in your subconscious, and I'm correct me if I'm getting this wrong, you mentioned that sometimes you can do it in one 90-minute session. Is that's possible?
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a rare case sometimes if it might take 2 sessions, but or 3 at the max, but really, yes. It does. So one specific.
I'm just curious, how do you access someone's subconscious?
Mm-hmm. Through hypnosis.
Is there a method to do the hypnosis?
So it's not old-fashioned hypnosis, so it's very, very slow to bring you there. It's basically just, you know, putting you in a state of where you're out of your mind. Is your nervous system is actually asleep. Your nervous system is asleep, and we talk directly. We go beyond. It's like a science. Yeah.
Is it difficult to do that?
Hypnosis? No. It's very easy. Very easy. And it's only 20% of what an RTT session is, by the way. Hypnosis is only 20%. So don't go thinking that's all it is.
Yeah. Well, I was remember one time when someone assured me they could hypnotize me, and unfortunately they weren't able to. And so I was just curious. But you say yours is different. It's not the old-fashioned. What's the difference in what you do versus the way they used to do it?
Well, I obviously can't tell you everything about the structure of a practice because that would be unethical. But in the past, hypnotist would make you maybe walk on the beach and take maybe, you know, a half hour to get you to this really deep place, where with us, we just do it within 5-10 minutes.
Oh, I know it was something that people used to think of as being scary. I know for myself, I was hesitant, but because I knew the person, I took the chance with them. And someone I didn't know, I would not have taken that chance because the thought is somebody controlling you.
Well, it's not the case at all. Absolutely. No, that's a very fair question. Hey, I always tell my client, don't worry, I'm not going to tell you to buy me a Mercedes.
So, you...
Sorry, I've had many clients who said to me, oh, I don't think you can hypnotize me. And believe me, I do. And it works. It's brilliant. It's easy.
Well, if it clears up all those blockages, the things that hold you back, because we have so much that gets in the way. And I always think it's amazing how we can allow one negative thought control all the positives that you get. And what you can do can knock that negative thought out of the way
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. You know,
Well, I recently had a gentleman here who had massive anxiety issues. Or maybe I want, I don't like to talk about my customers too much, but he was very
just don't use names and we'll be okay.
And he said, when he came out of it, and we'd actually spent a couple hours all up, and he thought, oh my God, I thought I was only here for 5 minutes. So it must have worked, because I don't remember it.
Wow. That's brilliant. That's the only thing I can say. So this program, you can do that online because you're over in Australia,
Yes.
and most of my
Yes.
viewers are around.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Is it
I can do it
difficult to
just
do
like we
online?
are. Yep. Yeah, I can do it online. You just sit in your bed comfortable, or any chair that's comfortable for you. You're going to be lying there and deeply relaxed. That's basically all you're going to be, is deeply relaxed from a distance. And then I send you your recording, which you want to listen to for 21 days minimum, to make sure that you rewire your brain. And it's phenomenal. It works every time. It's just
So,
the best.
so you're either 90 minutes away from changing your life forever, and that's it.
That's it.
And you have a recording that you encourage people to listen to for at least 21 days.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, they always say 21 days and it becomes a habit. So
that's exactly what we do. Exactly. Now, maybe I just also should explain that, you can't sort of come with a shopping list. Oh, I want to, have lots of money. I want to get rid of my anxiety. I want to attract. The mind can't deal with all this at once. We usually focus on one first. Do that for whole months. And then if you feel that you want to do another one towards your abundance blockages, you then come back. Like, I had a lady who was earning $500 a week and was really frustrated because it wasn't enough for her to build a little empire on the side, etc. And she did an RTT session. She ended up within a couple of weeks earning $8,000 a week.
wow.
I know it really works.
That's a huge jump. So what if a person what if a
You
person
want to
has
do it?
multiple
Yeah.
problems going on in their
Yeah.
lives?
Yeah. Well, so that's where I do have a little bit of an offer to make for the people, so that they don't have to, come and pay the full price every month. But you'll find, really, even one session is life-changing. It usually lifts other things up with you. Like for me, as I had to train with other RTT practitioners, and I have this really funny thing that happened to me, because for years, all my life, I am actually, in my 60s. And so all my life, I just had a problem with dogs. Just please, keep them away from me. And my daughter has a dog. They have two dogs, her and her partner. And because I live on my own, she suggested I should get one to make me walk and to have a bit of company. I said, no way, no way, no way. This is me a few weeks ago. And guess what? I own a dog now. And I love her. She's the most beautiful creature ever. So
and
you see,
she's making you walk.
she's making, oh, I walk heaps. Absolutely. Lost weight already just from that. But in saying that, I didn't do an RTT session on that. But as I was doing it, perhaps, for something else to improve my life, because we tell the mind to go way, way, way back to the beginning of time, when the DNA was clear and pure when it came on this planet, and all this conditioning that came through afterwards was then no longer there. So I love the dogs, and that's what it is. We have all this conditioning. We come on this planet, we're pure, we're perfect, we're so connected to God, and then we come here, and what's the first thing we do? For months and months, all we do is observe how to fit in, how to play the game, how to be here. And then, if you just happen to have a mother that hates men, well, what? You're going to probably hate men. If you have a father that's an alcoholic, you're going to have psychological abuse. It doesn't have to be necessarily physical abuse. Psychological abuse can be just as bad and debilitating. So the idea is because you really go through your whole life with that same set of rules that you've put in your minds when you were so little. So RTT basically refreshes the button in your mind to where you are today, and you fill it up with new stuff. It's pretty cool, huh?
Yes, it is. So in summary, RTT can help change habits for a healthier body. It can release stress. It performs helps you to perform at your very best,
Yeah.
and if someone has quite a few things going with them, it helps to clear all of that away.
Yes.
So it sounds like a miracle drug.
Oh, I
So
love it.
I'm just curious about something. How did you get into RTT? And remind us what that stands for.
So it's rapid transformational therapy. So, like you mentioned at the beginning, it's a long journey that's took me. I traveled 3 years around the world, was observing a lots of different cultures and their practices. So it's a long journey. The only reason I studied counseling is because I wanted to know where the medical system was at, because it was very spiritual. So I then realized that we were not far from each other. And then now I'm totally on top of that bridge, because we're combining, RTT and hypnotherapy. Could sound like it's, magic or wishy-washy, but it's actually been endorsed by medicine now. And it's a new practice, as I said.
Wow. So, wow, you do offer quite a bit. And as I said, this seems like a miracle thing that you do for people. And I would encourage people to take advantage of what you can do for them. So, tell us or share with us what you offer, and is there people contact you with and would like to work with you?
So if somebody would like to work with me, it broke up a little bit, the connection, but from what I can gather, basically the best way would be to email me, which is angelique.pellegrino@hotmail.com. Or you can also jump onto my website, which is angeliquepellegrino.com. Usually I charge $250. That's standard across the board. That's what we've been advised to do. And don't forget that, for those who think it might be a lot of money, it's life-changing. You don't keep going every month to talk about your issues. It's once and bingo, you're done. I mean, you are going to pay this once. I'm only going to pay maybe a very small bill with that, right? But your life is going to be changed forever. However, if you were, a type of person said, oh, I need at least 3 sessions. I want to do one to release my anxiety. I want to do that to improve my love life. And yes, I call this program called Heal to Fly. And it's $700 for the 3 sessions. And alternatively, if you have even more issues that you'd like to maybe, repair your knee joints, because then we have another kind of way to do that, where we command your body to go repair itself. It's called command cell therapy. So you could have a couple more issues you'd like to deal with. So if you have 5, I call this program a manifesting rock star. And that's $1,100. And that's all.
Okay. A small price to pay for something so worthwhile.
Oh, yeah.
So again, I want to encourage you guys to take advantage of this. And you can go on her website at Angelique Pellerino. I am so sorry.com. No, I'm sorry in there. AngeliquePellerino.com. And take a look at what she does. And look at the testimonials there.
Yes.
Of people who have gone through her program and how much it has helped them. I always like to look at testimonials because it makes a big, big, big difference. So go there. We'll make sure that we have all this information presented for you in case you missed it, so that you don't miss out a wonderful opportunity to make a big difference in your life. Well, Angelique, time flies, and it has just been wonderful having you on our show today. And I'm so glad that you came. We're going to have you come back. Absolutely, because we had some technical difficulties, and I want to make sure no one missed what you had to share with us today, because it's so important. And I just love what you had to say, because some of it I could identify with, having experienced it myself. So I can well imagine when you're concentrated on it and you know all the nuances.
Yeah.
Is there any last minute thing you'd like to say before we call the show for a day?
Just what can I say? Treat yourself. Invest in yourself. You'll never look back.
Yeah, I just said it better. So all of you out there, remember, this is the Courage to Live Your Dreams show, and I ask that you tune in again for our next show next week. And remember, stay safe and always keep the faith. Until next time.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming.